I think, I mean, firstly, what you refer to the SCOP strategy as an issue in NATO. This is an issue we face much more broadly. It's very difficult for example, even a Western audience to understand what China's governance model looks like, or how regional frameworks are emerging, not to mimic what they've seen in the West, but instead to simply address challenges that they have been facing. So the way I see the Shanghai Spirit and what resonates about it with me is that we, historically, this entire region, has shared exchanges, shared cultures. We have same words for so many things. I was just in Xinjiang, and a lot of words being used are the same as the ones we use in South Asia. So we have that historic experience. There are a lot of, historical documentations about the fact that this region has been connected and flourished more connected. So now we were facing issues. We know that it was the Shanghai Five that addressed the misunderstandings between the initial countries, and then thought of, let's expand further and let's think of ways we can deal with these issues, but also broaden connectivity. So the way I see the Shanghai Spirit is also, I wouldn't say it's a reaction, but it is a response to a kind of exchange between countries that is unequal. This is a space for the member countries to think about how can we collaborate. We need better issues, better ways to address climate change. We need better ways to address poverty. We need better ways to improve business cooperation, like was mentioned by the speaker. And what can this organization do? What can these member countries do to prioritize those agendas? And essentially develop connectivity within the region, which can benefit us all pragmatically, economically. Let's also remember that the SCO region has the largest number of youth as a collective in the world. So the way I see the Shanghai Spirit is this creation of an identity that is shared, which can help young people to think of the region as a space of opportunity and a space for them to work together to create synergy. This is in a nutshell what I feel. And I'll say quickly that, when you speak to many Europeans, they say, okay, Europe, they speak of a Europe. Why can't young people in the SCO region in some time talk about the SCO region? That region has so much to boast because of everything we have worked on together. So we are really inching towards a reality where this region has opportunities for everyone who exists within it. And that's what I think young people need to more critically play an important role in.
Yeah, I mean, many observers pointed out that the Shanghai Spirit is certainly rooted in the Eastern philosophy of coexistence in harmony, diversity in equality. Now, Mahbub, as the founder of Kyrgyzstan China Cultural Research Institute, can you perhaps tell us a bit about what this organization is doing? What motivated you to set up this organization in the first place? What do you hope to achieve by doing this organization?
So Kyrgyzstan Chinese people have shared thousands of years of Silk Road connection, yet political and economic cooperation always take priority, while in the self-cultural communication among ordinary citizens is far from enough. Most people on both sides only hold shallow curiosity about each other. This pushes me to establish this research institute. We build a mutual trust via academic research, then turn professional academic outcomes into easy activities for youth, artists, and local residents. I believe cultural mutual understanding is the fundamental foundation of all long-term bilateral cooperation.
It is very, very important. We do look forward to the summit in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, a very beautiful country, actually. Now, Bashir, you've been in China for around 15 years, from being a student in Beijing to founding this eGate Teen. What this organization is all about. Tell us a bit about your entrepreneurial journey.
Thank you very much for your question. China has been a very important part of my life. Actually, I could say that I grew up together with the China globalization. I first came to Beijing as a student about 15 years ago. And after graduating, I worked in Chinese tech companies on their international expansion, especially in our Central Asian countries. And that was my first real experience of seeing how Chinese companies going all global. So later, after this, I spent 6 years as economic researcher at the UAE Embassy in Beijing, working between two very different business cultures. And that's where I learned how often actually deals fail. It's not because the price is massive, because the two sides, they expect completely different things. So this is where I found my clear opportunity. So China has excellent manufacturing technologies. So there is strong demand in Kazakhstan and Central Asia for this. So connectivity between the two sides is always not an easy thing. And that's how I founded my company, EG18, which stands for Export Gate International. We connect companies with Chinese manufacturers in different fields, including the automotive, new energy, industrial equipment, and HVAC systems. So big part what I do is actually bringing my overseas partners from Kazakhstan or any other country from Central Asia to China. And I have a really interesting example. And my recent trip, it was 10-day trip. We visited around 20 factories together. So today I had a talk with my partner, and he told me that when his child graduates in a few years, he'd like him to come to China, study here, and get his degree here. So this is what I'm thinking. Our relation started being a partner, bringing my partner to China first time, and meeting the factors, technologies of China, and now I can see actually it's even reaching to the next generation. So this is what I learned, that the biggest challenge is not only distance, sometimes it's about the trust and information. And understanding business works on both sides, it can bring us to the next level.
We are all connected across borders, across continents, connected by ideas, a shared humanity. Stay connected.
We hope the things will flow naturally, will happen naturally, and friendship will forge naturally. Now, Zoom, the SCO's youth agenda covers a variety of issues from R